Hello everyone, and welcome to our latest episode of All on the Table. I'm Phatter Phil, and with me is Marty.
Hi.
All on the Table is, of course, brought to you by Game It All, your one-stop shop for all of your video game, entertainment, and regular gaming needs. And of course, All on the Table is sponsored by ComicHunter.net, also a great website to go to get Magic singles, Magic comic book issues dating back to the Golden Age, and some great deals if you're just around. Their Black Friday sale was magnificent, and they always have stuff like that. They always have flash sales, things like that.
I bought a deck of cards, Magic cards.
Oh, you fool!
I bought a Commander deck.
You fool!
Commander. I mean, they're still
I really
playing
want
the same
to. I really
game.
want to win that $1,000 shopping spree. We were joking about it this week, where it's like we'd just be running through the halls. I'd be like, I want one of those and one of those, and I'd be like, or maybe I'll just get back into Magic.
Here's my priority on that $1,000 shopping. I go to the fucking shoe shop and buy some like really good work boots.
Oh fuck you, man! I spend it all at the Comic Hunter.
Really good work boots.
All at the Comic Hunter.
And then I'd probably spend it. Probably.
It's G. It's a G though. I mean, yeah, you can
$1,000.
spread it around. Anyways, so yeah, go to ComicHunter.net. It's great. So this week we're going to talk about. We're not going to review anything really. We're going to give our final thoughts on what we're talking about today. Like maybe a small minor review.
You're gonna see Phil fangirl a lot.
Sorry, it's just near and dear to my heart.
A lot.
Today we're going to talk about the magnificence that is Legend of the Five Rings.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, Legend of the Five
Beat
Rings.
up the shit character apparently.
Yeah, it's a character. I brought the pretty one too. No, like the pretty one of that. It's underneath there.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe I didn't.
You did it.
Maybe I didn't. Anyways, Legend of the Five Rings, or L5R, as it will be referred to from this point on, is a game that was created in 1997 as a collectible card game and a role-playing game. They both came out relatively at the same time. It was published by AEG, Alderac Entertainment Group, and it was created, the main credit for it is John Wick, but really John Wick mostly did a lot of story stuff, a little bit of mechanical stuff, whereas the other people as well also contributed, like Rich Wolf and Sean Carmen, just to name a couple who've been names on the front of the books.
Why do you have your headphones on?
To test the sound, to make sure that there's, that the sound works out. That's why I wear them. Whatever.
Didn't last time.
I didn't?
No.
Sure, I'll take them off then. Whatever. I don't care. So Legend of the Five Rings is a game about medieval Japan. It's kind of the setting. Picture medieval Japan, and then as the main backbone of it, and then you take a bunch of other medieval Asian cultures, blend it all in with it, like just give it a good mix.
A little bit of China,
a little bit of China, a little bit of Korea, a little bit of Mongolia, a little bit of Vietnam. Mix it all together, and then make magic a thing.
Spiritualism actually matters.
Spiritual actually matters, and
Well,
you have Legend of the Five Rings. Now, the thing about Legend of the Five Rings is it's a very deep and complex world. When they wrote the story of L5R, I don't think they expected it to get this big, like this detailed, to be quite honest. Because at first it was just a card game, and they were like, there are these clans. At the beginning, there was just 7 of them. All these clans are
vying for power.
Are vying for power in this place called Rokugan, which is like a medieval fake country. It doesn't even look like Japan. Like it's just some chunk of continent on the side of this world, and basically all of them are descended from the founders who are the gods. Basically, they're called the kami.
The kami.
Now, each clan has a different flavor. Each clan has a different personality and color scheme, I guess. They color coordinate. They take it as a source of pride.
Everything is identity. Source of pride. Well, Japan is all about revering your ancestors, right?
Yeah.
So whatever your ancestors were thousands of years ago, if it's good for them, it's good for you.
That's right. They say, but there is another saying that says, do not choose your ancestor's name. Choose your own and make it famous.
Yeah, well.
Or something like that. Because you could bring shame on your ancestor's name if you do something bad.
Can you?
You could.
I guess.
So obviously, reputation and honor is big in Legend of the Five Rings, the setting. There is a saying that says honor is stronger than steel. And,
Apparently.
You know, I kind of, when I see the game played out, I kind of see it 50-50. That dude can be as honorable as fuck, but you know, that guy will
cutting
cut
a
you
bitch
down.
is still cutting a bitch.
Cutting a bitch still. You are still wielding 4-foot razor blades, swinging them at each other. So the main clans, the main 7 clans, the first 7, were the Crab Clan, the Crane Clan, the Phoenix Clan, the Dragon Clan, the Lion Clan, the Unicorn Clan.
And reading at the time.
No, they were the Unicorn. No, I mean like when the game started, not the storyline they established later.
Yeah.
The Unicorn and
Scorpion, technically, kind of.
Did I say Scorpion?
I don't think you did.
Crab, Crane, Dragon, Scorpion, Lion.
We're very professional here.
Phoenix, Unicorn. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, it was Scorpion. I forgot Scorpion. Just as they would like it. And each of these clans have a duty and a gimmick in the Empire. So, like, you know, the Crabs are there to defend the Empire's border against the forces of darkness. The Crane are there to preserve the political might of the Empire, and so forth.
Political might?
They're there to preserve the political might. They preserve the art, and the political system, we should say. Sure. You know, because every what is it they said, that every emperor has had a Crane clan mother.
Doji wife. Doji mother, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Doji for a long time.
Yeah.
How much are we getting to this?
Well,
because we could be here for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, for the origin story, when it first started out, it was basically the clan war. Is what
yeah, that's when it started, right?
That's when it started.
Scorpion wasn't technically playable.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
They were the bad guys.
They were the bad guys. It starts out with the leader of the Scorpion clan assassinating the emperor and taking over the empire.
Yeah.
Then the rest of the clans band together to attack the Scorpion.
Yes.
At the end of all of that,
shit happens.
At the end of all that, shit happens, and the Scorpion become outlaws. They become. They basically disband. The emperor forces them to disband because the emperor's son, they thought they took care of him, but he turns out he was hidden away by other members. And that's it. They hid him away, and is that fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know it froze there for a sec. They hit him away, and then when he came back, he was like, "Well, you're a traitor, and he was already killed." Because I think he was killed by the Lion Clan champion, and he's like, "I'm going to disband your entire fucking clan, and I'm going to take his wife as my bride, and fuck the entire Scorpion clan."
This is the heir of that, right?
Yeah, the heir, yeah. the new emperor at that point. He was the new emperor at that point, and it went on from there. In the card game, you couldn't play the Scorpion at first because they were considered the enemy clans, and then eventually, with the later expansions, the earliest expansions added the Scorpion as a playable clan.
Did they disband the Lion too?
That was later.
Was that later?
That was he only disbanded the Akoto family.
No, he disbanded the whole thing. Positive.
No.
Maybe this is a Akoto.
No, because it's just Totori that got punished.
What did he do? I don't remember.
He sat on the throne after he killed. After the Lion Clan champion was called Akoto Totori. After he killed the leader of the Scorpion clan, who's called Bayushi Shoju, he sat on the throne for a moment because he thought the emperor was dead, and he figured he was going to be the best choice to lead. Because all the other heads of clans were like, they weren't going to let Kisada lead, who was just a crazy crab dude. The Unicorn are borderline Gaijin, so you weren't going to let that happen.
Gaijin means foreigner.
Foreigner.
For those who don't know.
For those who don't know. So he, and then he disbanded the Akoto family only.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he disbanded the Akoto family because you can't disband the Lion Man. They're the right hand of the emperor. That would be stupid. Who is he going to make as the right hand?
Because disbanding the left hand is smart.
Hey, you have to understand, people didn't understand
underhand.
that people didn't realize what the Scorpion were at the time. You know, the Scorpion are a necessary villainy, and they didn't realize that at the time. Besides,
I think it's because the heir was too young to understand.
That too.
I hope, anyway, that the emperors understand what they're doing.
So, this leaves a huge power vacuum in the Empire, and it starts the Clan Wars, which is basically the widow of the Scorpion Clan champion, mad with grief, starts to poison the Emperor slowly and do the power behind the throne, and start to manipulate the clans into fighting each other all the time to avenge her husband's death. So, you know, it turns into this giant Game of Thronesy type thing, which is really cool. We've always said that if they ever did an L5R series that was like very like Game of Thrones, it would probably be pretty fucking good.
Probably, but I feel, I don't know, Game of Thrones, part of Game of Thrones' goodness is like the lack of magic, I find.
Yeah, and L5R is very magic rich, because L5R, they have a priest class called the Shugenja, and the Shugenja are like
Spirit
combination wizard priests. And they can talk directly to spirits and have spirits perform acts of magic on their behalf. So magic is commonplace, but magic happens all the time. Like
common to the sound.
There's magical artifacts like ancestral swords awaken with the souls of their previous owners and gain magical powers and shit like that. Like they are all literally descended from gods. Like the clan founders are all literal gods who fell from the heavens. Like that, and all of that story, all of that background story, and all that crap, that came about later on through expansions.
Yeah,
they just kept adding on to the story and adding on to the story, and eventually you got this huge tapestry, this ridiculous tapestry of story,
which, in my opinion, is hit or miss. Some of it's decent, some of it's pretty good. Some of it's not that amazing. I find at all.
But I find the more mythological stories that they tell are probably the better ones, like the Kakita Mirumoto rivalry. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, like the stuff.
How Kakita ends up marrying Doji.
The stuff that they write themselves, like everything before the Clan Wars, is fine. Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's not bad. It's pretty good. But everything, in my opinion, everything after is just.
Well, there was a reason for that. There's a reason for that. The thing that made L5R unique as a card game was that. During the tournaments, AEG got the players heavily involved, and the players could decide the fates of the clans and the empire by winning the tournaments. So whoever wins a tournament ends up being able to say, oh, well, I want the Scorpion Clan to have something positive, or I want the Scorpion Clan to have something negative, or I want the Lion Clan to be, and shit like that. And that's how we got our first new emperor. To continue the story of the Clan War real quick, the Emperor ended up being possessed by this secret ancient deity known as Fu Lang, who was one of the gods. And his story is when they fell from heaven, he fell
in hell
apart from them, and he went to hell, and it got corrupted. He was taking over the new Emperor's body. They ended up finding out that happened, and he ended up publicly taking everything over. The Crab ended up betraying their duty and aligning with these forces of hell, which is called the Shadowlands. And basically the entire empire was fucked, completely fucked, and the emperor was going to be Fu Lang, and he was going to reign for 1,000 years of darkness. So this monk called Shinsei, who may or may not be a birdman, we don't know.
A Kenku, right?
A Kenku, a birdman.
A birdman.
Ends up assembling the descendants of the Seven Thunders. The first time Fu Lang was defeated, he had to gather 7 heroes, one from each clan, called the Seven Thunders, and have them defeat Fu Lang. Only mortals could do it.
Fu Lang, apparently.
And apparently it didn't take.
Didn't take very well.
Didn't take. The second Day of Thunder, it didn't take the second time either, to be quite honest. No. During the second Day of Thunder, the descendants of these, which are all the major characters, fought Fu Lang again when he was reincarnated in the Emperor. You end up finding out all kinds of really cool stuff, like the leader of the dragon isn't actually a descendant, but the actual god that's been hiding out for 10,000 years.
No, 1,000 years.
Is it 1,000?
Yeah.
Was it 1,000?
I'm positive.
Oh yes, because the Day of Thunder happens every 1,000.
Yes.
So he's been hiding out as for like the last 1,000 years. His name is Togashi, and in his heart he held this scroll that, when it was read, would turn Fu Lang mortal and allow people to kill him, and that ended up happening. And the person who struck the final blow
was determined by a card game.
Was determined by the winner of the World Championships, which was the Lion Clan winner. And
I heard differently. I heard it was actually a Ronin deck that won, but
Totori was a Ronin
at the time, but technically was a lion. Yeah. But anyway,
basically that lion who got shamed and disbanded, that guy is the guy who ended up killing Fu Lang
and becoming the new emperor.
So he became the new emperor.
Totori dynasty.
Totori the First. And
it's not very long.
No, not very long at all.
But anyway.
But that's the thing, and that's what I thought. It made L5R kind of cool.
I thought it's interesting, but I don't know. It's sometimes they just some people. Okay, people aren't necessarily good storytellers.
No.
That's what I'm saying. People who win card games aren't necessarily good storytellers.
They're not.
So they not necessarily pick.
They're not all John Wick.
Well thought out story decision.
No.
Like, I don't know. What was the one that was really dumb? They picked the crab as his wife, the one with the iPad.
Yeah.
That was kind of stupid.
One of the last big decisions that was made was there was a new emperor that was being crowned.
And he needed a wife,
and
obviously.
he needed a wife. He needed an empress. So
He decided to
because
pick
his mother's husband had an eye patch, they picked another random fucking unimportant
Straight
chick
up
character
unimportant.
from the crab
She has a card, though.
with an eye patch as his next wife to make the joke that the imperial spouse must always be a cyclops. And like,
It's just like...
it was just a terrible, terrible thing.
It's not terrible. It's
Not
like...
terrible. It's just stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's
Like, it's in your right mind.
I think it's funny.
You think it's funny.
It's
I
funny,
think it's
but
dumb.
I mean, story-wise, it's kind of
Because,
lame.
oh, I'm the emperor. I'm just gonna take this random fucking eye patch woman. No. Not some actual political figure that actually matters.
Or some powerful samurai that got a whole bunch of renown.
No, nothing
they're
like that. I'm just gonna pick this
They
chick with an eye
basically
patch.
They basically altered the, and
Her
then they just
story,
created
basically.
a huge story for this chick, and just
I don't know. I don't.
made it so that she's so goddamn honored. Actually, they made it so that that Makoto woman, the person who ended up being the leader of the Crab Clan's political family, Yasuki Makoto.
Oh, her, yeah.
They ended up making it so that she's the one who manipulated the whole fucking thing to get a crab wife for the emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the story way they made it so that another important, cool character, one that they actually gave a fuck about, manipulated the whole situation. So, like, the story team for L5R was really good.
Yeah.
They could take the bonehead player decisions and,
This
like...
is the only one. There's some others.
Oh, there were some other ones, man. Like, let's not forget the Summer of the Mantis. Fuck.
They won a lot.
Fucking Christ. Eventually, some of the thing about
That's
that
the thing.
is,
Like, if
the card game becomes unbalanced in certain points
it will
because certain
eventually
clans
all be
win
better than others,
and just become better than others
and
because
then they'll
they
win a
have high
lot,
fortunes.
and they'll be really good for a while.
Yeah, and then they introduced the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
Bounty
Well,
system. I thought that was like a third
I
party.
personally did not fucking like it. The bounty system I thought was crap. Basically, someone could pay someone real money and say, okay, whoever wins will get $100 if they pick this clan to be the person who receives the reward for this tournament. I think it takes it away. I was like, I was more like, you know what? You want to be able to do that? You want to be able to pick the winners? Fucking get better at the game.
Pretty much.
Right?
But yeah. Anyway,
But L5R, the card game,
that's no. Yeah.
this is one of them. Like, this is the Crane Clan deck, which is the best clan in Rokugan. I don't even have Crane cards in here.
No, I know.
I don't even have the cards in here.
I know. I was gonna say that.
Funny. But anyways, yes. So it's a tin like that, and you get a bunch of cards in them. I wish I had some of the cards handy to show. But it was a slightly complex card game at first, but once you got the hang of it, it
Like
flowed
anything,
a little bit.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Any card game can be pretty
It's just
complex.
it'd
Magic is complex as shit. It can be anyway.
It can be. But it's not. It certainly wasn't a card game that was easy to master. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Because we played it for like a year and a half every fucking weekend, and
No, because
there was even like some of the subtle shit that we couldn't really like. I would play an actual person who's been playing for a long time, was tournament level, and it'd be like, oh my god, I didn't realize you did that. I didn't realize that this phase worked this way or something like that.
happens. It's like in any game. Like
Yeah.
when I first started Magic, I wasn't super great at it.
No.
Still not amazing, but I'm better than I used to be. That's for sure.
I've been playing Magic since '95, and I suck at it. Anyways, I'm the best of the scrubs. That's what I'll say. The best of the scrubs.
Best of the scrubs.
But back to L5R.
Whatever, you put damage on a stack, so.
I used to put damage on the stack back in the day. So that's the card game. The card game was fun. We played it for a while.
It's not bad. It's terrible. But
I tried to invest in it
he did. But he
really
invests in
heavily.
anything.
Really heavily, and then a year and a half later,
Invested in this.
Doomtown.
That's old Town, isn't it?
That's old Doomtown, yeah.
Jeez.
That's old Doomtown. Don't even look at that.
And
Don't-
this.
Don't bother. That's what's it called?
Stupid anime game.
What's it called again? Force of
Force of
Will.
Will.
Force of Will.
Phil likes to invest in card games that no one plays.
Well, I didn't know that no one was gonna play it. I mean, I was putting in the effort for L5R. Like, you might have caught on. Like, we were starting to catch on. We were
a little, but like I don't know. Like,
I think if I would have had
right.
another year, I probably would have had a pretty good scene.
Maybe. Who knows?
Anyways, the card game was great. A little complex. I liked the fact that players could affect the story, but I didn't like what it ended up being. It ended up being like more convoluted, where people would just pay money to see what they want to happen. Yeah. And the thing about the L5R fan base, it is fucking passionate. Holy sweet Jesus! If you go to a forum, like the official forums, if you go to like any of the Facebook groups or anything, people really, really like L5R. I've seen like videos of people on a convention floor. This dude on a convention floor saw an L5R flag announcing that it will be announced like in 2017, and he led like a crowd of people into a giant L5R bonsai chant, and it was fucking like enthusiastic, passionate, and to be quite honest, I share that passion. I love the setting. I love it. It's one of my. It's probably my favorite.
I like it a lot, but don't have the same passion, I guess.
No. So with the card game came an RPG. Now this baby, the role playing game. This is what we're pointing to. Actually, you can show them the special one. The special one. Still in a plastic. Still sealed.
It's not sealed. I put my finger in the air. Stop
fingering. Your dirty finger.
Also has the clan mod on it.
Has the best clan, the Crane clan on the back.
Calm down.
That's the 15th anniversary edition. L5R was around for 20 years, which is a long ass time for a game that had a rabid fan base. I think AEG, they ultimately sold it because they didn't want to focus on supporting L5R anymore. They couldn't support that tournament system and all that stuff. They wanted to focus more on making other games.
They sold it to Fantasy Flight.
And so they sold it to Fantasy Flight Games, and in 2017, Fantasy Flight Games is supposed to be releasing the new card game. Fantasy Flight also makes RPGs, so they might release a 5th edition of Legend of Five Rings. But the edition we're going to talk about now is 4th. I believe that as far as an RPG system goes, 4th edition is probably the third edition. That is probably the best, one of the best designed RPGs I've ever played.
I guess.
Well, for what it is, for what it's supposed to be. Like, a lot of people are like, the combat system is very lethal, but it has to be. You are a samurai. You are wielding 4-foot razor blades against each other.
I guess. I don't know.
You know,
it's lethal. Don't get me wrong. It can be.
Mm-hmm. Like, if your dice explode, you're fucked. Like, if that guy's dice explodes, that goblin with the stick, and he rolls a goddamn 40, you are dead.
You are.
You are fucking dead. So basically, L5R, pretty simple concept for the dice rolling. It's, you have a stat, you have a skill. You add the two numbers together, and you roll that many dice, and you keep the highest dice equal to the stat. So if you're swinging a katana, you have agility and kenjutsu, which is the art of swinging a katana. So let's say you have a 3 and a 3. You roll 6 dice, and you keep the stat, in this case agility, which is 3. So it's 6, keep 3, is how it's referred to. So you roll the 6 dice, and you keep the 3 highest, and that's the number you roll. If it meets or exceeds the target number, you win.
It's a decent rolling system.
It was very simple, very quick to learn, very, very quick to work with. The thing that set it apart was the raise system. You can voluntarily increase your target number to get better effects. So you could say your target number was a 20. You could say, I want to raise to add another die to damage. So a raise would add 5 to the target number. So your target number would become a 25. And like, it's a bit of a gambling system. It's a bit of a risk, but sometimes it paid off. I've seen some pretty big payoffs. Some pretty epic rolls. Now, as far as supplements go, Legend of Five Rings released a ton for 4th edition. A ton. And they were all fucking amazing. There was not a weak one in the bunch. There's not a weak supplement in the bunch, man. You know you loved every single one of them.
I would say love.
I did. I enjoyed all of them. So there was a bunch of ones like the Great Clans, which basically Imperial Histories gave you a bunch of alternate timelines and certain timelines in the game to play. The Great Clans told you about all of the customs of each of the clans that you played. Then there was like the elemental books, like the Book of the Void. There's 5 elements in Legend of the Five Rings.
Fire, air, earth, water, and void.
And void is the spiritual element, right? So
it is everything yet nothing.
Yeah, I know. Like, empty your cup, Marty.
Fuck. Punch you.
And then there was other stuff like Sword and Fan. Sword and Fan taught you like what it's like to be at war and what it's like to be in the political ring. You know, because the thing about Rokugan is the weather patterns were very harsh. It was either had a beautiful summer or a hardcore winter, and it was the way all the time. So in the winter, you couldn't go to war.
You say that, but like, what's hardcore to them?
Well,
what's hardcore to us?
It's like 10 to 15 feet of snow. It's enough that the armies couldn't mobilize. That's why.
Yeah, but you don't need 15 feet of snow to mobilize. Like 2 feet is enough to not mobilize an army. Really, realistically.
But it's supposed to be.
But 2 feet to us isn't all that much. We're Canadian, by the way. So.
Yeah. Well, if you couldn't tell by the accent, the thing is in Rokugan when they describe the winters, they're like supposed to be like ridiculous. Like they're supposed to be mobilizing winters.
Because from me, when I read the winters, it's read as a person from Rokugan, so they're biased in their opinion.
Obviously.
Right? So, harsh winter to them.
Yeah.
Because we have, like, it's not harsh to us necessarily, but it's harsh to them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, but the point is the winter is harsh in Rokugan for the Rokugani. So you can't mobilize for war. You can't move horses through it. You can't you don't have enough grain. You don't have enough food. You don't have enough rice. Yeah. So
war is
in a winter they hold courts in different palaces where you get to play the political game. And
you get to play games and talk about the latest gossip.
And that's where they manipulate things. Like this is where like this dude manipulates that to get a rice harvest, so you can get this person in the imperial court. And
try to marry your kids off.
Marry your kids off and make a fortuitous wedding for your family, things like that. So it's like all super detailed, super intricate.
It's detailed in like the fluff part, but less in the mechanics part.
Yeah. The mechanics tend to be very strong at DM's interpretation. Although we've been pretty good with the mechanics in L5R.
Yeah.
We've pretty much just go with an agreement on how it will work and how it makes sense to work, and we try to keep it as balanced as possible. The thing that needs to be understood about L5R though is that not everything is balanced, and it's not meant to be. There are great clans,
not everything
which are the big ones.
Like not everything's balanced, but nothing is under like.
We're talking about the RPG specifically.
Yes, the mechanics parts of it. Let's take the Crane clan, Phil's favorite clan.
You mean the best clan?
Favorite. Their warrior is basically good at dueling, one-on-one. Nothing can basically beat them.
You can't fucking beat them.
Mechanically, they're very powerful.
And if they go into the prestige class, fuck that.
Yes,
you're not even gonna. But
they kind of are just meh at every other aspect of being a warrior.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well, the Daidoji are unkillable, essentially.
Well, yeah, they're very defensive, but again, they're not super offensive.
Yeah, yeah. The Crane,
the
Crane win a war by making it so that only two people fight, and then the Crane wins.
Yes, or they use their political powers. That's what they would.
Yeah, to manipulate the war, because the Crane have the greatest duelists in the Empire, and they also have
some of the best,
arguably the greatest courtier in the Empire. Because
arguably.
The Crane, the founder of the Crane, Doji, she pretty much created the court system in Rokugan. So all of her descendants know all of her techniques and her tips and her tricks, and have inherited all of it, and now they all use it, right? So the Crane have also been really good at manipulating marriages. So, like, the Crane marriage makers... Yeah, so they're always in prominent positions. But that's how the Crane works. Like you put a fucking Crane on the crab wall, they're gonna fucking suck. You put a fucking Crane on a boat with a Mantis, they're gonna fucking sink. The thing, and L5R started with 7 clans.
It's not that they're
ended with 9.
Their unbalance is every clan has a niche, and they're really good at that niche, but not really good at anything else. So in a way, it's not really unbalanced. It's kind of balanced. Yeah. In a way.
So like here's an example. There's the lion. The lion is supposed to be the right hand of the emperor. They're supposed to be the army of the empire. So their entire clan is based around military might. Yeah. So in a one-on-one fucking fight, like I mean, in a general melee that doesn't involve dueling, a lion Bushi is damn near unfucking stoppable. He will fucking.
Even the Mao Tzu one.
he will fucking drop a dude. Like, it's not even going to be close. Like, he's going to fucking
But they have, like...
cut him like he's fucking wheat.
Yeah, but they have, like, 2 styles within the same clan, right?
Yeah, but they're both warrior styles.
Yeah, but like, one's, like, the technical, I will disarm you, then kill you.
The tactical guy, yeah.
Or I'm going to just fucking beat you with my sword.
Yeah, and then that's the Matsu, who are the Ragers. But, like, let's say you have a Crab Bushi. A Crab Bushi is made to withstand attacks from creatures from hell, creatures from the Shadowlands. So they are goddamn unkillable. They are fucking mountains. You cannot fucking drop them easy. You can't fucking hurt them easy, and they don't go down easy.
They hit hard though.
And they hit like a fucking Mack truck, but they have to hit. They have to fucking hit. They do. Sometimes, but man, whew.
Hard sometimes.
Yeah, but like, and then you have like the Scorpion Bushi. The Scorpion Bushi
probably
school,
one of the shittiest Bushi schools
holy
in
fucking
the game.
Sucks. The Bushi school is not very good. Like, it can be.
It can be if you take all the alternate paths. Actually, if you take all the alternate paths, it's actually really good.
Yeah,
it's actually
but
not
the
terrible.
basic school as of itself,
pretty mad.
Nope, they are generic as fuck. But the thing about them is
it's faint.
The Scorpion aren't meant to win.
No,
the Scorpion clan. Basically, each clan has a role. The Scorpion's clan is to be the underhand of the Emperor. It's meant to be the villains so that no one else has to. The Scorpion have to do the dirty work to make sure that something gets done. And that's what the Scorpion do. So the Scorpion have a bunch of Bushi, and they have a bunch of courtiers that are all about lying, manipulation, and blackmail and extortion. Which
less extortion, more than that.
Yeah.
I feel extortion's one of the crabs.
Yeah. And then when the Scorpion do that, then they cower people into taking a knee, or shit. It'd be a shame if that got out, huh, General? It'd be a shame if that secret got out that you're seeing this geisha and you have a kid with her. Oh, damn. I guess you should probably take that Wakizashi of yours and commit seppuku and not lead that army, and then the Scorpion are going to win. And that lion guy has no fucking choice but to do it, because he will bring shame upon his family. And that's how the Scorpion work.
That's how the Scorpion work.
And they also don't have ninja.
They do have ninja.
They don't. Ninjas don't exist.
Ninjas don't exist.
Ninjas are a myth. They don't exist. And the Scorpions certainly do not have an entire family devoted to it.
They have like 2.
Absolutely. Do they?
Their Shugenja, their priests are basically ninjas.
Yeah.
They're
their illusion magic, right?
Not even just that. Like, I can cast a spell without literally no one knowing.
Yeah, that too.
Like, literally, I'm gonna make a poison, illusionary poison that works exactly like a regular poison, and no one knows about it.
If you like ninjas and stuff, the Scorpion Clan are definitely your little. If you like being a little underhanded, Scorpion Clan are definitely your little cup of tea.
I have 2 different schools of ninjas.
Yeah, they have the obvious one and the fake one. The obvious one and the one that's not a Scorpion, that's not a ninja school at all.
One's an actor, basically.
The actor school.
Anyway.
So, all of the clans have this unique flavor, obviously, and they're really good. Like, the thing about L5R is a lot of people are like, well, eventually it gets tiring. Like, but people can't run it like a D&D game.
No, but also you can't. Like, when you play L5R, you have to have in the mindset that you can't really do anything. Really, it's weird. You have to want to play that kind of character.
Yeah, like
you can't just be like, oh, let's play D&D and I'll just play whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all. L5R is very deep as far as a role-playing character is concerned. Just how would I explain this? Okay, you're a samurai warrior. Okay, let's say you're a Rokugani samurai warrior. Okay, and you are fucking cold-hearted killer. You're fucking boss with that sword. No one fucking stops you, and you could kill anyone you want. However, in Rokugani society, that's not cool. You're showing passion. You're showing a sin. You're showing that you can't control yourself. You can't keep face. So you have to hold back. It's one of the things I say is that L5R is about avoiding a fight by any means necessary. You're not scared to fight. It's that you shouldn't fight. Because if you die, like you will throw your life away for your Lord at any time. If the Lord says, go fucking fight in that battle, you will go fight in that battle, and you will risk death and not give a fuck. But if you die needlessly, you have deprived your lord of a servant, and that is dishonorable. You have deprived the person you have sworn to serve of the most important resource they have, which is its people.
Samurai.
The samurai, which is the noble class. You could play the peasant class if you really want to in Rokugan, but
I wouldn't.
But why the fuck would you? They're not even people.
Are some of them people?
No, man. They're hidden, man. They're not
Are they
people
all
at
half
all.
People?
Hidden. They're the half people.
Yeah, they're half people.
Yeah, but they're not.
Some of them were actually
people.
people still.
I think the artisans,
the
like
farmers,
they're still hidden.
Yeah, but the farmers are like, food is important to everybody, obviously.
Well, the
So
entire
farmers,
economy runs on rice.
Yeah, exactly. So the farmers are like put in a slightly prominence over all the other non-samurais.
Yeah, essentially. But
and merchants are like
nobody
the
fucks-
lower rung.
Nobody wants to kill a farmer because that's stupid. And
Who's
it's
gonna make food?
It's gonna make your food. And no one really wants to kill a builder or a craftsman because you need someone who's gonna make your shit, right? But there are certain classes which are called non-people. So they're like the people who do things that are considered unclean. So anyone who touches dead things, essentially. Undertakers, leatherworking, morticians, grave diggers, things like that. So, you know, there's different levels of society. It's called the Celestial Wheel. The Emperor is at the top, and then the non-people are at the bottom. They're not even considered on the wheel yet. And then once you hit, once you become a samurai, well, they're like number 1 and 2.
I thought they were, and the Gaijin aren't on the wheel. Foreigners aren't.
Yeah, the Gaijin aren't even on it. Yeah. And if you do well, they believe in a system of karma. So if you do well enough in your life, you can go up a level when you're reincarnated. And then you can go up a level, and then, well, I don't know if you'll ever be an emperor, but who knows? Who knows? Anybody's been an emperor these days.
Fucking dragon.
So it started with 7 clans. It ended with 9. There are 2 more clans added. Was it? No, 9.
Yeah, what? Continue.
It's 9. 2 more clans were added because it's still an imbalance. 9. The Mantis Clan were added during the clan war. The Mantis were a minor clan, and they formed an alliance of a bunch of other minor clans. And when it came time to fight Fulang during the clan war at the second day of Thunder, they basically held the entire fucking of Rokugan hostage. And they're like, unless you make us a minor clan,
a major clan, greater clan.
Unless you make us a great clan, we're fucking walking and you're losing. So they were like, well, fuck. All right, fine. The Mantis Clan. And they became a major clan then, and they've earned their way since then.
It's kind of funny because the Mantis became a major clan, but the other families didn't join them immediately, apparently.
Yeah, like it was, but eventually
on.
Other minor clans became their families. So, yeah, and then finally the Spider Clan joined the Empire.
That's another thing about the whole cards win and they decide the story.
The Spider Clan, really?
I don't hate them. I just find they're kind of like really like grungy 90s edgy, and I don't like that. I really don't.
No.
Like Blade and don't like Blade. It was a stupid movie. It has that grungy.
I love Blade.
I fucking hate it.
You hate
that's
that
why.
angst?
That's
you
why
hate the angst.
I hate the angst.
The
like,
angst.
The
That's what it is.
Angst.
You would
like,
never
I'm
play
so
Wraith.
cool. No, you're not.
You would never
look
play Wraith.
Fucking ridiculous.
You would never play Wraith.
Fuck Lord Darkness. What are you talking about? I will play it, but
you got to be super angsty. There's a stat called angst in Wraith.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna facepalm that. Wow.
Anyways, the Scorpion Clan were basically a clan founded by a guy called Daigotsu, and Daigotsu was the secret
Spider Clan.
Yeah, the Spider Clan. Sorry, and Daigotsu is the Mary Sue character of L5R.
He's not the only one.
He's not the only one, but he's pretty obvious. He was basically the secret son of the Emperor who was shunted off to a pocket dimension when the Emperor died, pocket dimension of hell, and raised to believe that the forces of hell were unjustly kept from taking over Rokugan or ruling over Rokugan or something. And then when he came back and he found out that the Emperor didn't even have his bloodline, he fucking lost his shit and tried to take over the Empire. Since he was since he was
just when Totori died, right? The Totori Dynasty ended, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but he started making moves during the Totori Dynasty.
Late in it.
Yeah. And well, the big storyline was Fulang had to fight No.
that's after.
Daigotsu had to fight.
Someone.
Who was it?
Kalima?
Sort of, but
Akemon?
that was the Iweko dynasty.
Akemon?
Yeah, Daigotsu fought Cesaru,
Who's Cesaro?
the one of the sons of Totori, one of the illegitimate, the four winds.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Totori ended up with
That's
four.
like a part of the story.
Yeah,
that
Totori
I
ended
have
up with
not read.
4 heirs, and it was fucking bullshit. And basically, Daigotsu ended up wanting to kill them, but they
Yeah,
ended up
'cause
striking a deal with
One
him.
became the emperor, then died or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't legitimate enough or something. and then-
No, like his actual legitimate son died early, and then his sister.
Because there's three Totoris, but the second one didn't really rule.
Yeah, Masaru didn't rule, I don't think.
Because the third one was like, no, my brother did rule, and I'll be the third one.
No, my sister.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sister.
Like one guy died, the other guy became the emperor. Then he died, and the sister technically took over for a minute, and then she died fighting somebody, and the last brother ended up taking up the throne, but declared himself the third emperor of the Totori line because she
Technically had the throne for a bit.
She technically had the throne. She technically was the empress for a bit. After all of that, Daigotsu was like, whatever. And then there was this tournament to crown the first new emperor because that Totori died without an heir.
Yeah, well, there's also the fact that the celestial heavens are like, we're sick of your mortal shit.
Yeah, we're sick of your crap. We're going to assign a new emperor to you guys because you guys are fucking it up. And so they had this grand tournament, and it ended up being won by the Dragon Clan. And they named Kitsuki Iweko, which is one of their Dragon Clan people, as the new empress. And her line ruled until the end of the storyline.
It was they only had 2.
Yeah, they only had 2 emperors, her and her sons. Her and her son. And she had 2 sons. And the last big L5R, the last relevant L5R storyline, as far as card game was concerned, was they had to choose a successor between your 2 sons because one of them was more liked than the others. But the one that was more liked was fostered by the Spider Clan. So, you know, people were like, whatever. And he was more progressive, whereas L5R society should be more conservative because they're
Shit.
They're conservative. They're just the tradition. It's important. And anyways, the conservative guy won.
In the end.
And because he won, he ended up telling the Spider Clan to go fuck itself. So the Spider Clan swore revenge on the Empire and tried to take over by breaking the seals. And they had broken the 3rd seal, and then the storyline ended because AEG sold the property rights, so they were done. So basically, L5R ends on a down note as far as storyline goes. Evil wins. He rules the Empire. The darkness rules the Empire. The plane of hell is coterminous with the mortal plane, and coterminous, whatever.
First time I heard that word with an Eberron. I know what it means.
And the Empire, the people who were loyal to the old Empire had to flee to the colonies, and that's where they are.
All right, the colonies.
Yeah. And yeah, so you can see like that's more tournament decisions that just went crazy, man. Crazy. Like there was a mini war between the Mantis and the Scorpion as far as tournament results went. Like the Mantis did something shitty to the Scorpion, and then the Scorpion did something shitty, and then the Mantis did something shitty back, and then it was like fuck dudes.
I'm gonna steal this shit. I'm gonna steal that shit.
Tone it the fuck down. But you know, it was kind of entertaining. It was like, who's gonna fuck who next? We were just watching tournament results week after week, trying to see what the fuck was gonna happen next.
Phil was telling me.
I like the fucking how they stole the fucking Scorpion's trees though. That was funny.
Did you just steal the groundskeeper basically?
Yeah, but now they don't know where the grove is, and no one else does.
Oh.
Basically, is what it was. I wanted them to build boats out of the trees. That would have been
funny.
That would have been the best. But they didn't.
Great.
They didn't. That Scorpion line didn't go that far. I think they just burned it down.
It's not bad.
So yeah, as far as the RPG balance goes, is some people aren't meant to be good at certain things.
Yes.
And that's where the balance issues are
Because
like.
you're probably good at something else.
Yeah. Like a unicorn bushi, average at best.
On a horse, though.
On a fucking horse, though, he's unstoppable. You can't fucking stop him because the unicorns are cavalier. They're based on Mongolians for as far as flavor goes, and the Mongolian hordes rode horses, and they have better horses than Orokugani ever had, and they brought them with them when they explored the outside world and came back. They brought real horses with them. And
Real horses.
Real horses. And
Not ponies.
No, Rokugani have this thing called a Rokugani pony. It's like a little fucking shitty horse that doesn't work very well.
What?
And then they brought back the Unicorn Clan brought back the Utaku steed,
Which is only used by one family.
which is goddamn
almost
brutal.
basically magical.
It's like
Only women can ride
ponies versus Clydesdales, right? Like it's not an even fight.
It's not.
Like the Utaku steed is so good, it's so fucking good.
Mechanically, it's good as a level 1 samurai.
Yeah, mechanically, it could kick the shit out of a level 1 samurai
Pretty easily.
pretty easily. And if you're an Utaku, you get one of those
For free.
for free. It's part of your starting package.
Probably starting package. It's good. It's really good. It has like 4 strength and like.
Oh, it's boss sir. It's boss
Real
sir.
fast.
I think I totaled up its stats and stuff, and I think it broke down to like 160 point character or
Jeez,
something.
That's good. What's the minimum? Like 70? 50?
You're just shy of 150.
150?
You're just shy of 150, I think. I think the insight level is 150 for level 2.
Oh, okay, whatever.
For rank 2. Anyways, it's just a little bit over rank 1. Just a little bit over rank 1, whereas
Anyway.
you're just rank 1. So, you know, again, that's another niche of another clan, right? And like the Phoenix, they're magic users. They're all about the magic using. So that you can't fucking... Their Bushi are dedicated to protecting magic users.
Bushi's really good though. They're very versatile.
They're versatile because they have to be. They have to protect the magic user. But all their big abilities are about protecting their charge, essentially.
Yes. Disagree.
Well, can't they spend a void point and give someone else a void point?
Yep. No.
Can't they give...
No. If someone spends a void point, they get a void point.
Yeah, if their Shugenja spends a void point, they get one.
Someone. No, it's just them.
Anyone?
Anyone. In their
Shit,
fight.
that's good.
Okay. They spend a void point, they get better bonuses. They can spend 2 void points instead of just 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can...
by the way, void is a
points
stat. Is a stat.
It's very important.
That's really important to the game. Like void basically tells you how many raises you can do, which is how many extra things you can do when you're rolling dice, and how high you can gamble. And spending a void point gives you a tangible bonus in the game for like a round.
Rolling, yeah. Gives you
For
extra dice and
rolling, gives you extra
basically.
dice, it makes it better for you. So
Amongst
the more
other
void
things.
points you get, the awesomer it is, and it's hard to level up void because it's a
Really expensive.
very expensive stat, but it's very important.
Very useful.
And the Phoenix, since they're the magic users, are very in tune with the forces of the void, and
Especially their Bushi.
their Bushi is retarded, as far as
They can-
that goes.
They can, at the end, their last abilities, they can spend a void point, it counts as 2.
Oh,
And they can spend
so
2
good.
void point per turn, so they can technically spend 2
Technically,
void
they
point
get the benefit of 4 void points
points in a turn.
in a turn, which is insane because you can only spend 1
Fucking
normally.
ridiculous. I'm gonna cut a bitch. That's what's going
Yeah, that's what happens. It's like I am fucking Zen, motherfucker, and you're gonna find out what that means.
Very versatile, but
So what other clan did we not talk about yet? One of the majors, the Scorpion, the and by the way, the Spider Clan use the forces of hell to help them. That's their deal. That's their deal. They get more what's called the taint. The taint is how close to how close that hell is to taking over your soul and making you evil. And the spider basically use taint to
Dragon.
enhance themselves.
let's talk about Dragon.
Oh yeah. And then the only one we haven't really talked about is the dragon. Really,
Which is like a mysticism, monkish.
yeah, the dragon like to watch.
Yeah.
That's basically the thing.
Well, that's
they're
their-
fucking fence sitters. They're like the greatest fence sitters of all time.
Contemplating their navel. Anyway.
They're also like the only clan that has a monk family right from the get go. I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Asako,
Phoenix kind of do.
the Phoenix kind of do, but the dragon have the tattooed monks, and they're boss. They're super boss. They're fucking good.
But they also have the dual wielders.
Yeah, and they also have the second best duelists in the Empire. The ones,
Flavor-like, not necessarily mechanical.
not mechanically, but flavor-wise. Well, you know, it's,
Probably mechanically, actually.
mechanically they probably are.
Are.
Basically, there's a rivalry between the Crane Clan and the Dragon Clan, specifically the Kakita family, which is the duelist family for the Crane Clan, and the Miromoto family, which is the duelist family from the Dragon Clan. There's a spoken rivalry, and their duelists are considered like rivals. Although if you ask the Crane Clan, they're like, you're fucking out of your goddamn mind. A dragon can't hold his own to a crane, and then the dragon in response will just be like,
I disagree, but okay.
only one way to find out.
Kind of.
Basically, yeah, like the crane will challenge the dragon. That's how it goes.
I
The
feel-
crane challenges the dragon's competence, and the dragon is like, well,
Okay.
sure, let's see.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you want to play.
But
'Cause
the dragon
I can obviously see a crane just acknowledging another
duelist.
duelist.
Yeah.
as just as good as him.
Well, it happened. It happened. There was actually a big brouhaha about it during court, like last year, or the year before. It was like some duel. It was like it was actually a tournament thing. Like, if a certain clan won, then the Crane had to admit publicly that the dragon's fighting style was just as good, or something like that. Like, anyways, it's
a big thing.
The Crane won though, so they didn't have to.
Of course they did. Mechanically, they're just superior.
Thank God, that would have been embarrassing. And that's the thing. Like, once you become a fanboy and once you're really into the community, you self-identify with the clan like a lot. So I actually give a fuck when the Crane succeed or lose. Like, I really do.
I don't even really identify really with a clan more than another. Like, I like a lot of.
But you love the Scorpion most of all.
Do and don't. I don't know. I like the Mantis a lot. I like their underdogginess.
Dirty fucking Mantis.
I like their underdogginess, and I like the unicorn. The horses are just cool. I find horses are, in real life, horses are really important, especially in like this medieval time.
Mm-hmm.
Super important. Feudal Japan, horses are great.
Mm-hmm.
But only one clan uses it for some reason.
Well, only one clan has the good ones.
Yeah, but even a pony
the regular horses are spread around. The Utaku steeds.
Yeah, but
are
a pony is still better than a man.
A man riding a pony is better than a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a horse is still superior.
He gets +1 to hit and damage.
Well, D&D style. Anyway, yeah.
Gets a free race. Gets a free race on combat, or something like that.
I like a lot of the clans. Like, I played a Crane. I really like my Crane, actually.
And that comes to the point where that comes to the greatest point about L5R. One of the best games I've ever run was in a Legend of Five Rings game. It was 2 years ago. It was the Winter Court of that year, and they were playing it by forum at the same time. There was a bunch of people, like the official forum play, and I just took the events and the things that were occurring in the forum, and I would use them as a guideline for what was going on in Winter Court that year, and I had a group of players play Winter Court. And it was fantastic. It was fucking great. Everyone loved it to death. Like, Marty played one of a pair of Crane twins.
I played one twin.
He played one of the twins.
Someone played
and someone else, specifically my girlfriend, played the other twin. And the thing is about those twins is they had a dark secret. They were incestuous. They were like
we really were
Jamie
into
and Cersei
we were really into Game of Thrones at the time.
We were really into Game of Thrones
at the time.
And
so we took some stuff from that.
So that was their dark secret, and you know, like she was a poet. She was a poet and an artisan and a courtier.
No, she wrote pillow books.
But she was also a courtier. That was
she
her
was a
main
courtier,
job.
yeah. But she wrote like salacious
pillow books. Like about their relationship, but she framed it as a scorpion relationship to bring shame upon the scorpion, and then the scorpion didn't like that, so it caused some fucking trouble.
Yeah, whatever. I couldn't.
And in the end, it was truly tragic because Marty had to marry a scorpion, one of those scorpion that was framed,
had no emotion,
who was just a cold, heartless bitch.
Reminds me of the cards. Remember the cards?
What cards?
They have the keywords. Some of the cards in L5R have keywords, like the Daimo, the leader of the Scorpion, has a keyword called psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
Sociopath. Does nothing in-game at all, but it says that he's a sociopath.
It's creature type, sociopath. Essentially.
It's
but the thing is they could print a card that would have a sociopath
No, it's not
ability.
bold. It's not bold.
It's not bold, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But it's flavor, man.
It's flavor.
It's flavor. It's important.
I know. That's what I mean.
You're supposed to know that this
cards have flavor.
This guy's a cold motherfucker. That's
He's
what
a
you need to know.
Cold motherfucker.
Anyways, so yeah, during that set there was that, and then someone played a Matsu samurai whose entire quest was to sleep with a member of each clan before the end of Winter Court, and she collected the fans of the person, because when you have a romantic interlude with someone, you're supposed to exchange your personal fans, and you can either brag about it and show it off, or you can just keep it subtly hidden. Because in Rokugan, the thing you need to understand is, ultimately, the appearance of your honor is more important than your actual honor.
I lost like 20 points of that game.
You lost, well, you were incestuous with your fucking sister.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you lost a lot of fucking honor points.
I still believe that we should have just ran off.
Together? Your characters would have run off together? Marty ended up marrying a scorpion, and she ended up marrying a major NPC, which
A leader of
the future leader of the Dragon Clan, essentially. Oh, the future leader of one of the Dragon families. He was like the inheritor. He was like the heir to that family, the Kitsuki family of the dragon.
Probably the lesser of the families.
I don't know, the Kitsuki. Iweko was a Kitsuki.
So, I mean, nothing.
The Empress was a Kitsuki. I don't know. Anyways, and that was during the whole time where you had to choose between one of the brothers. So half the group had yeah, man.
That was just
progressive
before
or
that.
conservative.
It was just before that. No, it was.
No, it was.
Oh,
You had to choose. Your clan was
Remember.
aligned with either one of the progressives or the conservatives, and when you were doing the court stuff, you had to try and get more support for the progressive or more for the conservatives. You had the objectives. Every clan and every player had objectives that were secretly given to them that they had to follow during the court. Remember?
Interesting.
It
Yes,
was-
I do.
Yeah, it was fun. And then we had a crab samurai, two crab samurai. One of them was the Yasuki courtier, and the Yasuki is the crab courtier family, and they are like the mafia.
Extortionists.
They are extortionists, and they come from a commerce background, which is kind of frowned upon by Rokugani because a samurai should not worry about money.
Your lord
Your
gives you the money.
lord gives you the money you need to survive. And if you try to make any other money than that, you are insulting your lord and saying that he cannot provide for you.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb.
Hey man, it's honor. It's what it is. Honor is stronger than steel.
It just goes around everything.
Yeah, but the Yasuki family are like, fuck that. We're gonna make some fucking money.
Because they need it.
And because the crab need it. The crab have almost no farmland, so they need to find money some other way. So the
A lot of
Yasuki
fish, I think.
was kind of like a bookie slash manager of the other crab samurai, who was wanted to be a championship sumo wrestler, and he fashioned himself a bit of an amateur detective as well.
He did. He did.
And it was fantastic.
This was great.
Because there was a series of murders that would happen.
It's
Winter
just-
Court
the
happened.
the first half he won.
He won the tournaments and
The first
became the
half of the
grand
session.
champion.
Became the grand champion, and
And
then he
didn't
had
have-
nothing else
he
to
had
do.
nothing else to do.
So he's like, I'm just gonna investigate this murder.
And there was a series of murders that occurred during the periods the day before, the day of, and the day after the full moon. And Winter Court takes place over 3 months. So there were, it happened, and then it was completely quiet until the next full moon, and then it happened again, and it was quite obvious that it was related to the other one. So he took it upon himself after he won the tournament to investigate this thing.
Because he had nothing else to do.
Because he had nothing else to do, but it was great. His character was awesome doing it, right?
Start putting ranks in the investigations.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then I think we had
Sako.
yeah, we had the Phoenix. We had the Phoenix lore master who was trying to broker a peace with the Unicorn Clan
Yeah, because they were
because they were going to go to war.
Yeah, they were gonna go
The
to
Unicorn
war.
and the Phoenix were going to go to war because the Unicorn come from Gaijin blood. So the Phoenix
figured out
that their blood was impure and
Cursed.
was cursed.
or something, right?
So, and the Unicorn were like, fuck you, we're not cursed. Fuck you, we're declaring war on you. And then the Phoenix are like, we're right, though.
We're right though.
We don't want to fight you. We don't want to kick your ass, but we're right, though. And then it wouldn't be dropped. So.
I feel that fight with the really tight, personally.
Well, the cavalry versus the magic is basically what it would end up being.
Cavalry's really strong. Man.
So their two characters, those two characters ended up courting each other for the sake sake of trying to preserve the peace in a way. You know? And I think that was it. I don't think there was anybody else
Something like
because
that.
Corey left real quick.
Yeah, you made a unicorn thing.
He made another unicorn who was friends with the other unicorn, right?
Me, Amy, Laura, Dom,
Doug, Kelly,
Doug,
and James.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. And it was a great game. It's fantastic. People loved it to death. Like, I had the major NPC, and it turns out the major NPC was the killer the whole time, but it wasn't his fault. He was cursed. He was possessed
Werewolf
by the
style,
spirit of a
kind of.
Rakasha, which is an ancient
Indian
Indian tiger demon
that has hands all flipped.
that has hands flipped up, and he could take over other things. So he had a flaw called Lord Moon's Madness, which means during every full moon, there was a chance that he would lose control of himself and be taken over by madness. Because of an adventure he had previously, he was taken over by the spirit of this Rakshasa instead, and the Rakshasa would take over those 3 days. And they solved the investigation. They James helped at the party, and because
the power of friendship.
because they were all friends, they all met each other during court, and they all
used the power of friendship to save him.
befriended each other during the court. So they all saved him, and then it ended up being this fantastic thing. And your character became the head of the dueling academy, like one of the main senseis. And
I also played a Scorpion that game.
Yeah, you did. You ended up playing Scorpion for a little bit too.
It's because I ranked up and I wanted to get the ability. So because that like takes a week in game, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I decided to let's make this character for this week for a couple sessions.
Yeah, because his character had to go study somewhere to get his other ability. So he's like, I'm just gonna play this other Scorpion, and he tried to find out what was going on and investigate and backstab things and stuff like that.
And a ninja Shugenja.
Yeah, and so
really like the
all the characters,
actually.
like
Really like
Kelly's character became like the most prominent courtier of the Yasuki, and James's character ended up becoming a champion sumo wrestler, like the Yokozuna, because he won the title the next year. Yeah, then Laura and Dom were married, which was kind of a way of cementing peace within the.
She married his.
Huh?
She married into the unicorn.
She married into the unicorn family, yeah, and then you married the Scorpion.
She married into the crane.
She married into the crane because. Fuck that. She was going to marry into the crane at that point because you were a high-ranking Kakita. You had a lot of status.
I won the tournament at that tournament.
Yeah, he won the dueling tournament, so you were going to be a high-ranking Kakita. And then, of course, Amy's character married into the Dragon Clan because he was going to be the fucking leader of an entire major family. So, and everybody... And then when we played the next year, we wanted to play the next year's Winter Court, which didn't go as well. It was going okay, but... There was just something about it that wasn't clicking 100%, so we stopped it. But those characters came back as NPCs, and I would let the players kind of interact as them a little bit with the new characters and stuff. And I don't know, but it worked out for the most part. Like, it was doing fine. It's just I was running out of fucking ideas, and then L5R fucking died.
Yeah.
So I was like,
just before that.
Yeah, and so I was like kind of depressed about it, and I was trying to do a last hurrah for L5R and. Just got to me. Got to you. But all in all, L5R is a fantastic fucking game. But I feel you got to put some work into it.
You do. I really think you do. You really have to be in the mood to play that game. Yeah. Like right now, after talking about it, I'm in the mood, obviously. But like we've been talking about it for like an hour now.
I've been in the mood for a long time.
I wasn't thinking about it.
I never get to play it though. That's the problem. I don't get to play L5R because I'm the only person who knows enough about the lore and the setting and stuff. Well, maybe Amy does, but I know so much about it that it just makes sense for me to run it.
You don't need to really, in my opinion.
But who else is gonna run it?
No one.
Exactly.
No one will.
No one will.
We only have like a DM in the group, really, realistically.
Well, technically, Amy's the DM, but she's busy with the baby.
Wow.
Anyways, but yeah, L5R needs a little bit of work to do well as an RPG, but the reward,
it's pretty cool.
Oh, like, man, I'm telling you that 2 Winter Courts ago, the Winter Court of 2014, right?
Probably
14-15, right? Because we tried to do Winter Court last year. It didn't work out, and I failed. So yeah, the Winter Court of 2014-15 was just one of the best fucking games I've ever DM'd. I had so much fun watching the players just pick up the leads and make stories in of themselves, and that's the thing. L5R lets you do that. It lets you have a character that's built, and like what your family history is, what you want to do.
But like.
You have a lord. You have to do something for your clan.
That's all really nice and good, but in a way, it limits you.
It does. It really does.
Kind of what.
But that's the challenge of that.
Yeah.
Role playing it.
It's a challenge. You can see it as a challenge. Or you can see it as a problem, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to be pigeonholed into this thing, right?
But sometimes you don't have to be.
Sometimes you don't have to be.
It just means that your character is going to lose some honor points. Your character is going to lose some status. But that's part of the game, right? Like
I did have sex with my sister.
You did have sex with your sister. That's terrible. That's what's it, -10?
It was minus.
It's a
15
great blasphemy.
It was like.
Hand me the screen. It says it right there.
And
that's the thing about L5R. There's 3 stats. There's 3 social stats. They're called honor, status, and glory. And honor is basically your alignment. Honor is kind of affected by you personally. People can tell if you're honorable or not, but the actions you do in the game will affect your honor. glory is
how famous you are.
In Rokugan society. So if you accomplish great feats, like Marty's character was a huge duelist, he got a ton of fucking glory. Like anytime you accomplish a work of art and someone acknowledges it, you get glory. Anytime you win a fight, you get glory. Anytime you do something memorable, you get glory, and you get another point of glory if you brag about it. It's awesome. And then finally you have status, and status is actually the only one that you can't mechanically get affected. It has to be affected purely by role playing.
Well, there's advantage to this, but
yeah, but status is like your actual standing within. Like unless you gain rank in your clan, like you become a bigger leader, you become in charge of something, your clan you don't get more status. Status is kind of your most static stat. Yeah, you're you would lose for disloyalty to lord, spouse, or superior. You would lose honor, and you were really high, so you were like 7 to 8 honor, so you would have lost 14 honor there. And then
major blasphemy.
And then it was
that's like 2 ranks, so two and a half ranks almost. Also a lot. I was like one of the highest honor to like middle.
Oh, it's a breach of etiquette blasphemous, which is like minus 10 or 16.
Yeah, I lost like a lot of honor.
You'd lose all that honor and then regain it all by just dueling and basically. Fucking being honorable, because he was a crane, right? He was a crane with a dirty secret.
I did.
Oh man, and the Scorpion so tried to find that out. He tried
didn't.
so hard. I still didn't ever figure out if the Ryunosuke really knew.
But he did.
Did he find out? I think he did. Because the thing about his family, the thing about his family, the Kitsuki family, is they're kind of the Sherlock Holmes of the Empire. See, what I said about Rokugan, it's the appearance of your honor that's more important than your honor. That runs through their justice systems. If you come into a room and there's a dead dude and he's got a knife, a katana or a knife right next to him, and that knife has the colors of the Crane Clan on it, then a Crane fucking did it.
Dumb.
Doesn't matter that window was open where it wasn't open before, and that there's a weird flower in the room that normally doesn't belong in this part, but it's from Scorpion parts of the Empire. Doesn't matter. That sword has crane markings, so the crane fucking did it. The Kitsuki are like, no. Forensic evidence, motherfucker. And they would investigate that. They would be like, well, that window was open, and that kind of flower that's on the floor there is only found in... It's used for poison, and is found in Scorpion lands. And they would investigate it and try to prove who actually did it. So, that's part of Rokugan society, though. That's how it works. So, whether or not Ryunosuke...
Actually, the Scorpions codify the laws in Rokugan society.
Yeah, which is...
weird.
No. Since they codified the laws, they codified the loopholes, which is their bread and butter,
yeah, I guess.
Right? So yeah, it's very deep, it's very fun, and once you get into it, I have much love for L5R, and I still think that 4th edition Legend of the Five Rings is one of the best RPG systems ever made. One of the best. I love it. I think it's perfect the way it is. I really do. I don't think there's any real flaws to it.
Yeah. Well, flaws. There's flaws.
There's flaws in every RPG, but I mean, it just gave me so much.
Again, Phil is a fangirl.
Yeah, I mean, look at my love letter. I've got love letter L5R. I have.
You only have a love letter for L5R because it was free.
No, I would have picked up love letter L5R if,
I don't know. It was free.
And I also have a game called Ninja, the Tale of the Scorpion Clan, which is a decent little game. It's kind of like a mix of Clue and Battleship.
Yeah,
it plays pretty cool. When we played a couple games, it was fun. And then I bought like a thing called the Clan War, which is kind of like a L5R card game standalone set that has its own scenario in it, and it's during the Clan War, the fight, the second day of Thunder, basically, in the card game.
I also bought it. I kind of regret it, but because I bought it like before.
You bought it, and then the fucking game died like 2 months later. Trust me, man. I'm there with you. You didn't invest like $1,000 of your fucking money trying to get the game off the fucking ground in your hometown, like I did. Whatever, wherever you lived. I tried to get that fucking card game off the ground. It was working. And
didn't end up working.
They fucking sold it.
Whatever.
Damn it.
Coming back as a living card game, which is better than the fucking trading card game. Cheaper
It is.
anyway.
It is way
Cheaper
better,
anyway.
and I am going to be. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's bad. I'm embracing the shit out of it. I'm investing all of my hard-earned money into it, like a champ. Like a champ.
Okay, we done here?
Yeah, pretty much. All in all, Legend of Five Rings is so good. I love it.
It's pretty good.
I give the whole
enjoy it.
setting. I give the whole package deal a 5 out of 5 because I love it all. But to be quite honest, the RPG system isn't for everyone.
No, it's not.
Solid 4. The card game, the complexity of the rules kind of make it very difficult for beginners. 3.5.
I feel it's, I don't know, less interactive
Maybe. Sort of. Kind of. I
than
don't
like
know.
Magic. I don't know. It's weird.
I think it was just because of the you could only do one thing and then the other
Yeah.
person had to respond and then you had to respond, and it wasn't like there was like the game had a stack and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't just like
It wasn't do then happen. The stack happens. It's,
yeah, like a lot of the
this
cards
happens, then this
could only
happens,
be played in
resolve,
response to another card, and
this resolve.
Yeah.
Kind of, weird.
like it was kind of weird that way. But that's why it's only a 3.5 for me. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was fun, tons of flavor, and it was very, very good for me. But I have to look at it objectively. 3.5. It was as old as Magic. Like it was out in 97. Magic came out in 95, and it only died 2 years ago. So that was over 20 years of Legends of the Five Rings as a card game, which is fucking unheard of. Magic is the big boy on the block. L5R only at that point was only 2 years younger than it.
Pokemon's almost as old.
Pokemon can't be 20 years. Maybe 15 the most.
I think it might be 20 years.
No. The card game? No, Pokemon didn't come out that early, man. Not the card game. Not here. Maybe in Japan, but not
Yeah,
here.
What's the difference?
Well, I guess. But yeah, I love L5R. I love Legend of the Five Rings. I can't wait for it to come back. I anticipate it so much. So if you do have any interesting Legend of the Five Rings stories or anything like that, just leave some in the comments below. Yeah, it'd be great. I just
99, so
love,
not quite 20 years yet.
love to hear about it. Also, if you find a way to pick up Legend of the Five Rings books and you're very interested, go 4th edition. The other editions are okay, but 4th edition is where it's at.
Trading card game is 20 years this year.
20 years this year.
TBC.
There you go. The 4th edition RPG is where it's at. If you can probably get the card game on the fucking cheap, but
I've seen actually a lot of posts on Reddit about people selling the cards.
yeah, I see it all the time, man. In my Facebook groups all the time.
Anyway,
It was fun. Yeah, no, I'm wrapping it up. So yeah, so this was all on the table where we talked with Legend of the Five Rings. For GameItAll.com, your one-stop shop for all your entertainment and gaming needs. GameItAll.com, just like, subscribe, follow, all of the good stuff. Instagram it.
I don't know.
Just worship the site. Worship it. Worship it like it's the con. Your honor is stronger than steel, and Game It All is stronger than the internet.
That's not true.
No, it's not. Totally not true. But it's strong. But I love Game It All. And of course, All on the Table is sponsored by ComicHunter.net. Go to that website, get some cards, some Magic cards, some great deals on Magic singles. They have a ton of them. They have a huge, extensive library of it. And of course, you can get comic book single issues, entire runs of things, back issues, dating all the way back to the golden age of comics. And who knows, they ship internationally, you know, and they've got great shipping rates, and they're a great bunch of guys. So yeah, for GameItAll.com, I'm Phatter Phil, and this has been Marty with his smoldering eyes, and we'll see you next week.
This is Luke.